Hello, I'm Mohsen Jamal and you watch Afghan News. An Afghan employee killed a U.S. citizen and wounded another in a shooting incident at an annex of the U.S. Embassy in Kabul on Sunday night, an embassy spokesman said. U.S. Embassy spokesman Gavin Sandwall on Monday said that there was a shooting incident at an annex of the U.S. Embassy in Kabul Sunday night involving an Afghan employee who was killed, while the motivation for the attack is still under investigation at the time. The injuries to the second U.S. citizen were not life-threatening, Sandwall added. The annex is believed to be used by the Central Intelligence Agency, which has declined comment on the incident. A soldier from the NATO-led International Security Assistance Force was killed by an improvised explosive device in southern Afghanistan on Monday, the coalition said in a statement, but gave no other details. Afghan security forces and foreign troops killed 22 insurgents, wounded 1 and detained 14 more in 6 operations on Sunday in southern Helmand province and Wardak province, the interim ministry said in a statement. Separately, 2 insurgents were killed by security forces while trying to lay roadside mines in the Yak district, Ghazni province on Sunday, the ministry added. The NATO-led coalition also said Monday that Afghan and NATO-led forces have killed 7 insurgents and captured 32 in East Afghanistan. The International Security Assistance Force said that civilians also turned over a huge weapons cache to the security forces. Afghan police say a suicide bomber on a motorbike has detonated his explosives outside a local police headquarters, killing 4 people. Abdul Rahman, who coordinates security in Paktika province, says 2 policemen and 2 civilians died in the attack Sunday in Yahya Khel district near Afghanistan's eastern border with Pakistan. After the attack, gunmen fired bullets at the police headquarters from 2 or 3 directions, but the gunfire ended after 15 minutes and no other casualties were reported. Taliban militants have not commented on the issue yet. Afghan officials said Sunday that they had arrested a man connected to the Taliban militants who sent a suicide bomber to kill the leader of Afghanistan's peace process. Few details were released about the suspect in the killing, Hamidullah Akhund, or the circumstances of the arrest. Sifatullah Safi, a government spokesman, said only that Akhund was detained somewhere in Kabul in the past days and was being investigated by Afghan intelligence agents. President Hamid Karzai and his government have come under intense pressure from political rivals in the Afghan public to arrest whoever was responsible for the plot to assassinate Burhanuddin Rabbani, a former president and the head of the High Peace Council. Rabbani's death last Tuesday was a severe blow to the government's struggle to negotiate peace with the Taliban. The United States may have to consider a military response to the government of Pakistan's alleged support of a terrorist group that attacked the American embassy in Kabul. Afghanistan U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham has said. Graham, a member of the Senate Armed Services Committee, on Sunday said that if Pakistan continues to embrace terrorism as a part of their national strategy, the United States has to pull all options on the table, including defending its troops. Graham, a South Carolina Republican, said lawmakers would master bipartisan support to elevate their response if needed, but didn't specify what actions he would back. Pakistan must stop providing safe havens for the Haqqani network, said David Plouffe, a White House senior advisor. U.S. and Afghan officials have said the network of militants supported by Inter-Services Intelligence, Pakistan's main spy agency, is behind a September 13 assault on the U.S. embassy with rocket-propelled grenades. Pakistan's military will not take action against a militant group Washington blames for an attack against its embassy in Kabul, despite mounting American pressure to do so, a Pakistani newspaper reported on Monday. Pakistan's Army Chief General Ashfaq Kayani met with his top commanders on Sunday in a special meeting to discuss the security situation. The military said as the war of words with the United States escalated. That emergency meeting came against the backdrop of sharp U.S. allegations that the Pakistani Army's powerful spy agency supported the Haqqani militant group Washington blames for the recent attack on its embassy and other targets in Kabul. The commanders agreed to resist U.S. demands for a Pakistani Army offensive in North Waziristan, where the United States believes the Haqqani network is based. The Express Tribune reported, quoting an unnamed military official, the United States has long praised its ally Pakistan to pursue the Haqqani network, one of the most lethal Taliban elite Afghan groups fighting Western forces in Afghanistan. Ali Abdullah Saleh, Yemen's embattled president, has called for early presidential and parliamentary elections for a peaceful transfer of power in his strife-torn country. In an address on television, Saleh said he had authorized the vice president to engage in dialogue with the opposition and sign a transition deal, and that presidential and parliamentary elections would be held after an agreement was signed. A defiant Saleh said violence would not succeed in bringing about change in the country, while blaming the violence that has plagued his country on elements of Al-Qaeda. He said he was committed to the Gulf Initiative on power transfer in his country. Alarmed by the escalating unrest, Yemen's wealthy Gulf neighbors have been trying for months to persuade Saleh to accept a plan under which he would hand over power in return for a promise of immunity from prosecution. NATO has launched a bombing campaign on Muammar Gaddafi's hometown of Sir to clear the way for fighters supporting Libya's interim government to advance deeper into the city and gain control. The forces of the National Transitional Council prepare to renew their advance into the coastal city on Monday, a day after the roar of jet engines and sporadic booms could be heard as NATO ordnance hit targets on the ground. Earlier this weekend, NTC fighters had pushed to within a few hundred meters of the center of Sirte, but later drew back to let the NATO jets do their work. Meanwhile, Libya's new rulers revealed the discovery of a mass grave believed to hold the remains of more than 1,200 people in the Libyan capital. Khalid Sharif, a spokesman for the NTC's military council, said the bodies were those of prisoners who were executed at Tripoli's notorious Abu Salim jail in 1996. The official websites of 7 major Syrian cities and several government departments have been hacked as the country's government continues an extensive crackdown on anti-government protesters in the province of Homs and elsewhere. A London-based rights group reported the death of 4 people in the crackdown on Sunday. The websites for the cities of Homs, Aleppo, Latakia, Damascus, Tartawas, Deir ez-Zor, and Palmyra were hacked by members of the anonymous Operation Syria group on Sunday. The homepage is replaced by an interactive map of Syria showing data on those killed in the government's crackdown. The map showed the names, ages, and dates of death of those killed since the uprising began in March, putting the death toll at 2,316. The websites have been reset by their administrators, with each now only displaying a generic page. In that Saudi women will have the right to join the Advisory Shura Council as full members and participate in future municipal elections, King Abdullah has said. The announcement came days before municipal elections, where women will be excluded. In a speech delivered to the Shura Council, Abdullah on Sunday said the women will be able to run as candidates in the municipal election and will even have a right to vote. The decision means women will take part in the elections to be held in 4 years. Nominations for municipal polls on Thursday are already in. Women in the ultra-conservative Gulf Kingdom are not allowed to drive. More than 5,000 men will compete in Thursday's municipal elections, only the second in Saudi Arabia's history to fill half the seats in the kingdom's 285 municipal councils, while the other half are appointed by the government. And that's all for now. Thanks for staying with us.